everybody, this is Teresa. I just wanted to go over some information with you about what's going to happen after the challenge, since you've been so diligently following macros for the next 10 weeks. I wanted to let you know the next steps. However, first, before I get into that, I do want to congratulate you guys on a job well done. It's been very rewarding for me to see you guys grow, to see some mindsets shift, to see the changes in your habits, your actions, along well as the changes that are occurring in your body as too. So I wanted to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. And then now we'll cover what's going to happen on the next stage. And I apologize, this is the first time I've done a screen recording, so if I slow down a little bit, I'm trying to figure that out. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you again for your hard work and also taking the time to listen to this information. It is beneficial to you, but it's also, I know, taking some time away from your day. So thank you for that. It's also, this is an introduction to the most important day of the challenge, and that happens to be the first day after the challenge ends. I'm sure all of us have probably tried to lose weight before in the past and then maybe regained the weight. It does happen, and you're not alone. In fact, 50 to 60% of people who lose weight end up regaining the weight and oftentimes gaining more weight soon after they lose it. The good news is it's not your fault. Actually, it's your body that's fighting against you because it doesn't like to lose weight. In fact, maintaining your results after you lose weight can feel like pushing a rock up a hill. And yes, I had wanted that font to look like that to signify how hard it actually is. I'm sure many of you guys have been there before, but again, remember, it's not your fault. There's 3 mechanisms at play within your body that make it harder to lose weight and easier to gain weight when a diet ends. The first one is it slows the metabolic rate through metabolic adaptation. It activates genes that favor weight regain. And lastly, it causes changes to your biology that make it more difficult to lose weight in the future. Again, like I said, your body is fighting against you. This is why you shouldn't be in a caloric deficit year-round. There are metabolic consequences of dieting. One is the severity of the energy deficit. I did have all of you guys at a caloric deficit for the most part. It's not as severe as some of the diets out there where you're only eating 800, 1,000 calories, you're working out for 4 hours. I don't believe in that. However, there is a deficit in calories that you've been following for the last 10 weeks. 2, it depends on how long the deficit is imposed. We've done 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8-week challenges in the past. This is the first time we've done the 10 weeks, so your deficit was imposed for a little bit longer than it has been before, and how frequently the deficits are imposed. So if you're somebody who, does challenge after challenge, that is what this question means. And again, this is why we shouldn't be in a calorie deficit year-round. Maybe you noticed the first time you attempted to lose weight, you remember that you lost the weight really quickly, or maybe then the next or second or third time you tried to lose weight, the weight didn't come off as easily. I'm sure this has happened to you. It's happened to me. The problem with most diets is they're designed to help you lose weight only. They don't focus on habits, which are what, probably put on the weight to begin with, and they don't have a post-diet plan to help restore your metabolic rate. Let's talk about the second mechanism at play that makes it harder to lose weight and easier to gain weight when the diet ends. Here is your fat cells at the very beginning of the challenge. As you know, the challenge is a fat loss program, not a weight loss program. So here we're looking at your shrunken fat cells. Yay! That was the goal, so this is perfect. But what I need you to understand in the second picture is you have the same amount of fat cells, they've just shrunk. And then, if you regain weight too quickly after the challenge ends, you can actually increase the number of fat cells you have. So you can see here that our original fat cells got bigger, and now we even have more fat cells than we did before the challenge began. Again, this is what's going to happen if you regain weight too quickly after the challenge ends. If you continue to gain weight too quickly after the challenge ends, your original fat cells and the new ones that formed from going off the rails after the challenge ends both continue to grow. And the process continues to grow, literally. This is really important, guys. I do have a plan in place to help you through this, but keep in mind, this has happened to me personally. A lot of you have heard the story before. I've seen it happen to other people that have done challenges in the past. So I know how hard you guys worked during these 10 weeks, so I don't want the next couple of weeks to take all of that away and then some. Aside from the obvious consequences of regaining the weight you worked so hard to take off, there's a more important piece to this. When your fat cells are full, they regulate your hunger and send a signal to your hormones to stop eating. So if you increase the number of fat cells you have, it becomes more difficult to receive the stop eating signal. So in other words, you just keep eating because you actually do feel hungry. This is why the first few weeks after the challenge are the most important. However, you can help maintain your results by exercising in something that I call reverse dieting. By now, you know the benefits of working out 3 times a week. Unfortunately, some people give themselves a reward for working hard for the last 10 weeks and decide to take off time from exercising. Do not do this. This is probably one of the worst things you can do. It will set you up for massive fat regain. If you stop exercising, you obviously lose the benefits of exercise. In addition, the combination of strength and cardio exercise builds and helps maintain lean muscle mass, which is what's going to burn more calories just while your body's sitting there. Exercise also increases the hormones that tell your body that you're full, you're satisfied, and it also increases turnover in fat cells. It also lowers the set point, which your body defends. So that's that point where your body starts fighting you. To lose weight, if that set point gets lower, then you're able to lose more weight. More importantly, the last point is really important. Number 6, participants who ate more and exercised regained significantly less weight compared to those who ate more and didn't exercise, even though the calorie surplus was the same. What this is saying is, even if you eat more and exercise, your body is less likely to gain fat than if you eat the same number of calories but don't work out. Now let's talk nutrition. I'm sure you've heard the expression 80% of your results come from your nutrition and 20% come from exercise. This is true, but there's another important fact about nutrition and exercise. Your workouts drive the 80%. And I will explain that. Have you ever had a great workout and found yourself more committed to eating healthy because you feel great, or you don't want to undo it all by eating junk? Or perhaps you've skipped your workout and then given yourself permission to eat junk. 80-20. Your workouts help drive your compliance to the nutrition. Now we're going to talk about how we're going to slowly feed you more while helping you maintain your results. Reverse dieting is a strategy of dieting where calories are slowly increased in a controlled manner, controlled being the key word there, over time to increase metabolic rate while minimizing body fat gain. The purpose is to increase your metabolic rate so that you can maintain your current body while eating more calories or lose weight more effectively in the future. I'm sure we all remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, and the moral of the story is slow and steady wins the race. The same is very true of fat loss and reverse dieting. First, let's look at the hare. So he finished his challenge, and he spends the first few weeks after the challenge gorging himself on all the delicious food, pizza, beer, cookies, and all the other non-nutrient dense foods. In other words, he has completely forgotten and abandoned everything he learned during the last 10 weeks and goes off the rails with the food. Unfortunately, because his metabolism hasn't had time to catch up to his eating habits, he regains body fat very quickly. As you can see in that third line, the second line is his metabolism, and then the third line is his body fat. The turtle, on the other hand, He knows that it's incredibly important to slowly increase the number of calories he eats. By that slight increase, his metabolism can adapt to the increased calories he's eating. They're shown there by that stair step. And with this strategic approach of reverse dieting, his body fat remains consistent over time. If you take anything away from this information, it's this. The worst thing you can do post-challenge is stop exercising, binge eat, and start over. The best thing you can do is continue to build on the great habits that you've already adopted throughout the challenge. You've been working on these the last 10 weeks. Meal plan, meal prep, and work out a minimum of 3 times a week. One of the most powerful things that happens during this challenge, it occurs between your ears. Just remember, results don't last. Who you are does. Your identity has changed. You've become the person who preps their food on Sunday. You've turned into the person who schedules their workouts as a can't-miss appointment. You are the person who drinks their water every single day, and you're the person who has started tossing your excuses aside. Sorry, I skipped a slide. Let me go back. Your identity is the thoughts, actions, and beliefs you hold of yourself. In life, you get what you think you're worth and what you think you deserve. That's a very important fact. I want you guys to listen to that a couple times. You get what you think you're worth and what you think you deserve. Do you believe you're worth the effort it takes to be successful? Many people overlook this, but how you identify when it comes to your health and fitness is critical for your long-term success. If taking care of yourself is part of your identity, you will do it year-round, no questions asked, not just during a challenge. Remember, I am a fit person. You're not trying to be a fit person. You are that fit person. Frame it in your mind that way. Let this sink in for a minute. This is this quote, your brain goes to work to prove your beliefs true. This is one of my favorite quotes from Ed Mylett. If you don't know who he is, get to know him. He's one of the premier business leaders and motivational speakers in the world. He has a passion for mentoring and coaching others on what it takes to become a champion in all aspects of your life. If you believe you can be successful after the challenge, your brain will work to make it come true. If you don't believe you can be successful after the challenge, your brain will work to make that come true too. Your brain goes to work to prove your beliefs true. Now that we've addressed your mindset, let's get into what's going to happen immediately after the challenge ends. Once I get your check-ins, I'll create your post-challenge macros for you. They're going to be very similar to your starting macros. Same format. I will send them out to you with your game plan and explain how it's going to work outside of what we talk about in this video. You'll notice that at the bottom of your macros, every 2 weeks, you're going to add flex macros into your plan. They're located at the bottom of your spreadsheet, and you can use these flex macros anytime on anything. If you want toast and butter on a Tuesday night, do it. It's still best to keep the higher carb meals low in fat, but it's 100% okay to start having some fat with your carb meals. Eating too many calories causes you to gain weight, not carbs. Just know that when you begin to reintroduce foods, your body will begin to crave more of them, and after your free meals, your urge to eat more of that food dramatically increases. The most important thing is to make it a lifestyle. Feel free to move your macros around to fit your lifestyle. Adherence and consistency are more important than perfection. So don't worry about perfectly portioning your macros at every meal. If life happens and you're unable to do it, just figure out the macros of your favorite foods and reintroduce them into your weekly meal plans. Again, just a reminder, when you first reintroduce foods, your body is going to crave more of them, and after your free meal, your urge to eat more dramatically increases. Both are 100% normal. Don't panic. All you can do is stick to the plan, follow my directions, and trust the process like you have been the last 10 weeks. So just to summarize, I will get you your new macros. It's going to include flex macros for 2 weeks. You're going to notice at the bottom it's split up to week 1 and 2, week 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. There's going to be some carbs and fats that will increase. Most important thing to do is make it a lifestyle. Sorry, I'm going to go back to the flex macros. Remember, you can use those however you'd like. Consistency is more important than perfection. Reintroduce your favorite foods. Stick to the plan. Follow my directions and trust the process. And I know what you guys are thinking. Well, wait, I still have more weight and more fat to lose, and that is okay. I still want you to reverse diet. And you're going to say, okay, got it. And I'm going to tell you why that I need you to reverse diet. Your body does not do well being in a caloric deficit for extended periods of time. Returning to maintenance is important for metabolic functioning. I don't want any permanent metabolic damage to happen or anything that's going to take you, around a year to recover from. Again, I've done it to myself, so I know what I'm talking about from personal experience. And being in a caloric deficit and exercising is stress on the body. Some stress is okay, but too much stress for too long is not good. And we are doing another challenge in January, which is going to be off the hook. You guys are not going to want to miss that. So if you follow your reverse dieting, by the time the January challenge starts, you are going to be primed to lose more weight than ever before. Again, any questions, please comment on the video, send me an email, text, catch me in the gym, whatever way you can get your questions to me. You will get your post-challenge macros to you once you turn in your check-ins. I will be working on them tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Anyway, make sure you guys let me know of any questions, and I will see you in the gym.